Welcome back to People Point Channel XRP holders. The title should tell you all. XRP will be the topic of our discussion. I hope everyone has a fantastic month. As you are aware, a new month has begun. Time is passing very quickly. Naturally, you should value the things that are more significant. There are other things that are more significant than cryptocurrency, you know. I just want to remind you all of that one thing. Additionally, we have a tendency to become quite interested in this process. Like I mentioned, don't forget about other things, but let's look at what's going on with XRP and of course what we could anticipate in terms of the upcoming month. We are seeing a lot of green when we look at everything, including the price of XRP at $2.21. We're witnessing a slight decline, nothing significant, of roughly 8.7% in USD and 1.4% in Bitcoin. The 24-hour trading volume is close to $3 billion, 0 cents, and the comparable market cap is $129 billion. As always, though, let me give you all a brief disclaimer before we continue. This channel does not offer financial advice. Always conduct your own research and due diligence before making a cryptocurrency investment. This is where I'm going to start, and then we'll kind of get into more detail. Thus, BlackRock IBIT currently owns 601 to 208 Bitcoin, which is valued at approximately $57 billion, 0 cents. To put that in perspective, that is 2.8% of all Bitcoin that will ever be in circulation. Do you realize how large this is? Do you realize how much this has grown in such a short period of time? They're holding 2.8% of the total supply that will ever exist in such a short period of time, but I know people will say, well, they're only holding 2.8% and they keep purchasing Bitcoin, assuming that other businesses would follow suit. The usage of cryptocurrencies is still in its infancy, and many corporations still have cryptocurrency on their balance sheets. But I believe that in the very near future that will become a commonplace phenomenon. 2.8% by BlackRock IBIT alone is a significant amount. We frequently simply think about what will happen in this bull market. What will occur over the next 2 years? What will take place? For the next year, 2 years, or 3 years, these guys won't be around. They're present for the long run since they are aware that Bitcoin's supply will eventually run out. Additionally, it is evident that obtaining Bitcoin has become increasingly difficult after the halving. As you can see, the hash rate clearly decreases by half. You know, retail just forgets about these things. Therefore, we don't want to forget about that. People believed that Bitcoin will never surpass $100,000, 0 cents. When Bitcoin was less than $1, 0 cents, I was involved in this industry. You're right, you have heard that. Nobody could have predicted that Bitcoin would reach $100,000, 0 cents. We would hear about predictions at that time, and we would believe that if you truly believe the technology. You understand that whenever a new technology is introduced, there will always be those people who are skeptical and say, oh, it's not going to do this, and I'm not going to avoid going there. Here it is. $100,000 is involved. Additionally, it is being regarded as a legitimate asset class given the way institutional interest is growing. What will actually occur over the next 5 or 10 years? That's what we really need to be asking, you know. This figure was seen, since 2021, 52.7% of cryptocurrencies have died. As you can see, 2025 saw the greatest amount of cryptocurrency project failures at 1.8 million. Why am I telling you all about this? What connection does this have to XRP? This demonstrates, first and foremost, the importance of diversification. Second, the significance of profit-taking. People have a tendency to say things like, you're crazy for telling to lock in profit in debates about profit-taking. This project will revolutionize the game, blah, blah, blah. I've spent a lot of time in this area. I've seen a lot of initiatives that accomplish the same thing. Furthermore, they simply disappear after a period of time, perhaps 5 or 6 years. It goes without saying that you must have a plan that locks in profits. Additionally, this helps us to understand why XRP is still in use today. Over the years, thousands and thousands of various initiatives have failed and vanished from the crypto realm. Here it is. As you can see, XRP is still developing and truly receiving the return for all of the hard work that has been done over the past several years. And, everything is beginning to make sense when we talk about it. Have a look at this. ICE IPO. Ripple offers a $5 billion 0 cents bid to acquire Circle, a stablecoin issuer. This is something you can all witness for yourself. We are aware that Ripple's $5 billion 0 cents offer to purchase Circle was turned down. Guys, they're making huge moves. They're doing some really huge things. And believe it or not, a lot of people are looking at Ripple as a result. In order for you to witness this for yourself, in just 4 days, RLUSD by Ripple has grown rapidly from 0 to 76 million to platinum. Are we taken aback? Why should we be taken aback? This coin is steady and people are talking about stablecoins more than ever before. They are in great demand, and these large organizations or enterprises that wish to use stablecoins for cross-border payments will not employ non-compliant stablecoins. They would want to use something that is compliant and has regulatory permission, which is where RLUSD enters the picture. The important point is that you shouldn't be ignoring it. Speaking of RLUSD, you can witness this for yourself. 8 hours ago, a presentation from the U.S. Department of Treasury acknowledged RLUSD alongside well-known titans like USDC and USDT. Even though RLUSD was only introduced in late 2024, the most powerful government in the world has already acknowledged it. Finally, but just as importantly, it's clear that Eric Trump says this: the current financial system is slow, costly, and broken. According to Chad, if you try to send money across the globe, the banks will keep half of it. However, they do take a sizable portion. I wouldn't say they take half of it, that's obviously a bit of an exaggeration. Regarding it, there is no doubt. Furthermore, even if they take a sizable portion, such as the fee, it is typically somewhat slow, incredibly slow. The money won't be sent to you right now. And that's where Ripple, RLUSD, and your Ripple payments come in, completely altering the rules for both entities and ordinary people. Can see attempt a global money transfer. Half of it is taken by the banks. That's a bit of an exaggeration, as I mentioned, but the vast majority of people use the banking system as a weapon, but crypto fixes XRP. Really fascinating stuff. Let me know what you think below. Therefore, before we conclude the update, let's examine the current state of the pricing. Can observe that dominance increased to 64.83%. Guys, to put this into perspective, we haven't seen this level of dominance since 2021, and this is a new yearly high for 2025. Thus, once more, Bitcoin is quite popular. Dominance is really popular at the moment. Can witness this for yourself. Right now, Bitcoin is rising to 95,200. This 95,500 key resistance has, of course, been retested several times. Extremely strong opposition. In actuality, we haven't left this range. For the first time since February, I believe we might start pushing up to 99.0 or perhaps $100.0 if we break out, which would be absolutely incredible to witness. However, dominance is still very high. Naturally, cryptocurrency will see a slight lag as a result. Regarding XRP, you should be aware that we did observe a slight retracement. We dropped to $2.12. The reason why, of course, you saw a retracement in Bitcoin just a few hours ago. The straightest down to 92,800 is visible. However, we've essentially returned to our previous position. There are, of course,